Good afternoon and many thanks for making time. It is Friday, the 4th day of April 2014. This is KTN Newsdesk. My name is Boni Tunya. Coming up in this bulletin, we'll kick off with matters in Kenjan, and business came to a standstill at the multi-million wind power generation project in Ngong Hills as residents blocked the roads heading to the hill. Now, the residents claim that the Kenjan management is taking their hospitality for granted. They claimed that the company is in the process of erecting 24 new turbines to produce 25 megawatts of power. Yet they have never benefited from the 6 turbines that are already working. Now, they maintain they expected to benefit from the 5 megawatts currently being produced from the 6 turbines put in the year 2008, but they haven't. They used logs to block everybody, including tourists, from going up the hill. Now, police efforts to calm them down proved futile. They now want Kenjan CEO and to engage them in finding a solution to the standoff.
Tumewauliza kwa sababu mmekuja na nyinyi ni wanabiashara. Mnakuja na mnaona hapa tuna shule. Mmekuja hapa mmeona hawa watu hawana maji. Mahali walikuwa wanakunywa maji ni chemichemi. Na ndipo mahali wanakunywa pamoja na mifugo. Mtatusaidia na njia gani kwa ajili nyinyi mnasaidika kutoka kwetu na sisi hatufaidiki kutoka kwenu?
Kama Kenjan hakuna project watatufanyia kama CSR, kama jamii. Tunawaambia tafadhali waachane na project yao mpaka siku ile watakuja tusikizane, tukae kwa meza, kwa sababu tumewapea wakati mrefu. Kutoka 2008 we have been talking to them, we have been discussing, we have been trying to negotiate, we have been trying to give them ample time ya kutufanyia at least one project, but they have never done any.
The Mombasa County security chiefs have warned civil society groups against holding any protest demonstrations in the county this afternoon. The county commissioner, Nelson Mara, says no authorization has been given for any such demos, contrary to speculation that there will be protest marches against the killing of controversial cleric Abu Bakr Sharif.
The role of an NGO is to mobilize the public, is to educate the public, is to educate the public about their rights in a more civil manner, but not to misuse youths, you see, not to incite youths, and then get the clips, send it to the donors, and they get money to their own advantage. Some are doing that, and you know them. Even today, they are trying to threaten to do that. So let Haki Africa, yule jamaa alijump kutoka Muhuri akaenda Haki Africa, let him do peace. Let him do peace in this country. Asidanganye wa Kenya hapa.
They applied for the demonstrations tomorrow. That is Haki Africa and Muhuri. We have not allowed that permit. We have disallowed that request, so there is no demonstration. I am appealing to the residents of Mombasa that this demonstration, according to the security side, it is insecure. I'm appealing to the public not to attend to that demonstration.
The county government of Kajiado is cautioning Kenyans against buying land in the county without proper consultation. Kajiado Governor Dr. David Nkedienye says most people are being duped into paying for subdivided land in areas which have not been designated for the establishment of towns. There has been increased interest in real estate in Kajiado and neighboring Machakos County, but the governor has warned that this may lead to loss of investments.
We have seen a number of people who are subdividing land into quarters and eighths and just advertising in the papers and, asking unsuspecting Kenyans to come forward and buy. Now, that is not only misleading, it is illegal. Because any person buying a quarter somewhere out there because they saw an advert on a newspaper is actually being duped. Because before you buy that, you must consult the county government and know that that place is designated as a town or an urban area. If it is not an urban area, then you have no business buying a quarter 15 or 20 kilometers away from the tarmac.
That was Kajiado Governor David Nkedienye. Let's go to Nakuru now, and the Nakuru County has embarked on a 5-year plan to supply farmers with farm inputs to address food security in that region. 11,000 farmers in the county will be fast beneficiaries of the 60 million shilling program, which was launched in Naivasha. The county is targeting 55,000 farmers in the program that will be issuing farmers with maize seeds and fertilizer. According to the county executive in charge of agriculture, Dr. Stanley Chepkwony, the project is targeting poor and vulnerable farmers in the county. Speaking in Naivasha after launching the program, Chepkwony said the selected farmers would each get 50 kgs of fertilizers and 10 kilograms of seeds.
We will be giving out 11,000, the one we gave out in the tender, 11,000 50 kg fertilizer. And we also gave out 11,000 10 kg maize seeds in all these constituencies of our play. The reason we want that guy who is yule mnyonge kabisa, at least apate kitu. At least they can put food on their table.
Our county road trip takes us next to Muranga, where the government of that county has imported 35 milk coolers as part of a 500 million shilling dairy program targeted to save thousands of dairy farmers from exploitation by middlemen. The 35 milk coolers will be distributed to the wards and will be operated by the dairy cooperative societies in that area. While flagging off trucks carrying the coolers, Muranga Governor Mwangi Wairia said plans are in place to purchase 200 cows, which will be given to youth and women groups and willing individuals at a subsidized rate. The coolers have a capacity of storing 170,000 litres at a time. The governor said through this project, the county government will be able to control the dairy sector and improve it.
Going to benefit to extract economies of scale out of this, because we can negotiate better prices with processors, and at the same time we can even go into value addition. That means that in effect the farmer will be assured of a higher price.
Property worth millions of shillings was destroyed last night at Kongoya Market in Mombasa. Eyewitnesses say the fire, which broke out at around midnight, quickly spread through shops and stalls, destroying everything. Business owners have blamed the county's fire department for not acting quickly enough to salvage their investments. Mombasa Deputy Governor Hazel Katana, who visited the scene, said that the cause of the fire was not yet, or rather had not yet been established, but he promised that the county government will use its resources to assist those affected.
Sisi tulikuwa tumefunga soko jioni tukaenda nyumbani. Hiyo ilikuwa kitu kama saa 6 hivi ya usiku. Sasa tulijulishwa hivyo, sisi tukaja kuangalia, tukapata moto inaendelea kuwaka. Na hatukujua nini kinaendelea. Kilichosababisha moto hatukujua.
Well, it's a good time to pay the bills, but coming up on the other side of this bulletin is business and more news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're on the news desk. Livestock farmers in Isiolo and neighboring arid and semi-arid areas have been urged to embrace raw gum harvesting as an alternative to livestock production. The National Director for Kenya Forestry Research Institute, Dr. Ken Chikamai, said that KEFRI had researched on the natural resources since the 1980s and found resins and gum commercially viable. Chikamai said Kenya is the world's third producer of gum and resins after Ethiopia and Somalia. The products have improved livelihoods for residents of northern Kenya by fetching 200 million shillings every year through sales. Producers of gum and resins were encouraged to form cooperative societies through which they can market their produce.
The best alternative to livestock production in the drylands of Kenya. An effort has been done by the government through the Kenya Forest Research Institute and other partners in trying to develop these particular commodities since the late 80s.
Kazi kubwa ni kuweka ma cooperative kila sehemu ya Northern Kenya kama 12 ASAL counties na kuona kama tunaweza kusaidia cooperatives ianze kuokota hiyo kitu na tuko na soko kubwa sana hizo vitu.
With time, we are trying to diversify and look for alternative livelihoods for our people. And gums and resins and other nature-based enterprises have actually become one major option or alternative livelihood for our people.
The government is finally starting the process of selling off its stake in 5 state-owned sugar factories at the end of this month. The privatization, which the Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture says will take 2 years, will be undertaken either through auction or a private treaty. The cabinet approved the sale of Nzoia, Chemelil, South Nyanza and Miwani in 2008. Now the farms are saddled with huge debts, mismanagement and political interference, which have delayed their turnaround and sale to private investors. The sugar farms posted a collective loss of 6.1 billion shillings in the year to June 2013 under the sale plan of 51% stake in the farms that will be reserved for strategic investors. Farmers will get 30% stake and 19% through an initial public offering once the factories are profitable. Attracting strategic investors is seen as a critical move in turning around the struggling millers ahead of the expiry of the safeguards from competitors in the COMESA block next year. Which is the world's biggest democracy, is gearing up for parliamentary elections expected to see the opposition Hindu nationalist led by Hadlana Narendra Modi come to power.
Duel on an epic scale. In India's national poll, 2 men are battling to win over more than 800 million voters, the largest ever electorate. It pits Narendra Modi, leader of the Hindu nationalist BJP party, against Rahul Gandhi, scion of the political family dynasty who is leading the ruling Congress party to the polls. Gandhi is campaigning on pledges to lift millions out of poverty.
Our aim is to bring you all into the middle class in the next 5 to 10 years, all of you. And we'll do that by changing the education system, a system that is closed to you today, by opening the doors to schools and universities.
But after 10 years in power, opinion polls are predicting a massive defeat for the incumbent party. The BJP has been highly critical of Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, who steps down in the wake of a slowing economy, high inflation and a string of corruption scandals.
What kind of government should run a country as big as India? You've seen in the last 10 years the way the country has been ruined. Such devastation has not been seen in any decade under any government.
Though tainted by religious riots as Chief Minister of the western state of Gujarat, the charismatic Modi has pitched himself as a reformer who can reboot the economy and create jobs.
People are looking for development. At the end of the day, they want growth, they want employment, they want to get rid of poverty, they want to move ahead in life. They had enough of corruption. And here is this man who is projecting himself as a messiah who can deliver.
While the BJP is expected to emerge as the biggest party, it is likely to fall short of a majority in India's 543-member parliament. And when 5 weeks of voting ends in mid-May, it may face the challenge of stitching together a ruling coalition with the country's numerous regional parties.
Right, and news just in is that the civil society group Haki Africa in Mombasa has called off the protest planned for this afternoon. This, of course, follows the directive or the disallowing of that particular protest by the security forces in Mombasa. They have called it off until Monday. However, they've come up with a special demand saying they demand for the immediate transfer of Mombasa County Commissioner Nelson Marwa. News just in is that the Haki Africa group that had planned a protest in the streets of Mombasa have called off their protest march until Monday, but they're now calling for the transfer of Mombasa County Commissioner Nelson Marwa. We'll be able to give you more details as and when we receive them. Let's go internationally now. And you've heard of the game show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Well, we've got a new one for you. Are Microsoft Tech is smarter than a 5-year-old? A boy in the US gave them a run for their money by outsmarting Xbox security measures. And as CNN's Michael Chen reports, the boy proves that old adage that Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
Amid the worldwide hoopla over the new Xbox, a hidden vulnerability that could allow anyone to break into Xbox accounts just by having a console. A vulnerability uncovered by a 5-year-old. When Christopher von Hassel is playing his Xbox, his feet don't touch the ground.
PVZ got him with it.
His words are sometimes hard to understand, but something he just did.
I was like, yeah!
Sent a message loud and clear to some of the smartest techies at Microsoft. Just after Christmas, Christopher's parents noticed he was logging onto his father's Xbox Live account and playing games he wasn't supposed to be.
I got nervous. He was gonna find out.
This is video shot soon after Dad asked Christopher how he was doing it. A suddenly excited Christopher showed Dad when he typed in a bad password, it clicked to a password verification screen. And by typing in space keys, then hitting enter, a backdoor in.
The account is now logged in.
Christopher's father, who works in computer security, was one proud papa.
What was your first reaction to that?
How awesome is that?
It's not the first time Christopher has flashed his tech skills. At age 1, he got past the toddler lock on the cell phone by holding down the home key.
Try Xbox One.
4 years later, he took aim at the Xbox One. Father and son reported the bug to Microsoft.
I thought someone's gonna steal Xbox.
Microsoft came up with a fix, even acknowledged Christopher on its website as a security researcher. When Christopher read it, this reaction.